Hello, and welcome to the Get Pod Local podcast, where we ask, is it really bad to talk ill of the dead if said person said things like, I'm happy, we're killing all the right people?
Welcome to Get Pod Local.
Hi, my name is Jalon, and I keep up with the news for you.
And I'm Joey, and I keep up with the policy for you.
And together we help you vote smarter, not harder. And today we are talking about something in the news. We're also chatting with Keenen Colbert, who's running for the Texas Senate District 2, which when you look at the map, District 2 is insane. It's just insane. We have to do something about these districts, guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So Joey, I had an idea for a story, and then you sent me a video that I'm trying to find right now that I feel like we should discuss.
The media ice thing?
No.
Okay.
It's you sent it to me this morning. Let me listen
send
to
you
it
a lot of
again.
videos.
I know. It's the ranking from CNBC, where Texas was voted the second worst for quality of life in the United States of America.
One of the most talked about stories this week in the North Texas business world was the new ranking from CNBC, where Texas ranked the second worst for quality of life, number 2 after Tennessee, with this headline: these are America's 10 worst states to live in for 2026. Let's dig into this ranking, showing that a strong economy does not always translate into a high quality of life. In fact, Texas may be the epicenter of what economists describe as a K-shaped economy. Texas is great for the wealthy, the top 10%, and information workers who live in big cities. Everybody else, not so much. CNBC compares the states using 61 measures for quality of life. Texas received an F grade because of healthcare, crime, worker protections, inclusiveness, and reproductive rights. The state performed well when it came to childcare availability and air quality. Again, this is compared to other states. Texas has the highest uninsured rate at 16.7% when it comes to healthcare, dead last in the amount of primary care doctors we have per capita. But let's look at the total report card as well. CNBC gave Texas an A or an A plus in the economy, the workforce, the cost of doing business, technology and innovation, and access to capital. A B for infrastructure, then a C for business friendliness, education, cost of living, and then that F for quality of life. Overall, the authors of the ranking wrote, quote, while Texas continues to lead the nation in attracting workers, those workers are finding a broad array of challenges when they get here.
Big deal. Living it.
Yeah, it's
No
a
notes.
big deal. Yeah. Yeah,
living it. No.
All right, moving on. No,
No.
just kidding. Like, I don't know if we had okay. Joey and I are both dealing with insomnia, so please forgive us. This is probably going to be one of our shorter interviews, our shorter podcasts. Our interview today, our interview on this podcast is with Keenen Colbert, and he says this in his interview, but I just want to repeat it. For 30 years, our government has been ran by the Republicans for 30 years. Increasingly, everything about living in Texas has gotten worse. Education, property, water, food quality, and now quality of life. We are the second worst, only beating Tennessee. That's the only state that we're beating is Tennessee. Mississippi is above us in quality of life.
Alabama.
Girl.
What?
West Virginia.
I mean, come on, people.
To which I say, enough is enough. We have given them 3 decades to be able to do anything, something that's helpful, that makes it worth living in this state. Now, if you live here, I'm a transplant. I'm not even from here. There's something about this state that we all love and enjoy, and we don't want to leave, not necessarily. But if the quality of life keeps going down, along with the education and how long your dollar will stretch. Girl.
So bad.
It's so bad.
Because it's like here you can start a company, but if we're not going to educate the citizens, there's no one to hire. You know, I mean, like, so this is not going to go on. We will absolutely just end up in just a trash situation. This isn't going in a positive direction, you know?
We can't survive this.
No.
We can't survive this.
No, it can't go on like this anymore. continuing to just go down, while literally all the money is just being funneled out to Greg Abbott and his cronies. He's the one who's appointing the seats to the Supreme Court. He's the one who appoints all of the seats for all of our state board of education stuff. Like, yeah,
they're also taking over school districts. Like, and then don't understand. I don't understand why you would get into an industry where it's acts of service. Like, this is supposed to be a service position, and you do everything you can do to make it unlivable for the majority of people that live in this state. Like, maybe 5% of Texans are enjoying this. You know, those people who live in housing communes that have private runways for their private planes are having a blast. But the rest of us who live in like, I live in a food desert.
You do, yeah. It's struggle bus for sure.
I don't understand why making life this hard is their goal. I don't understand. This state is beautiful. It has everything you could ever want. It has access to the Gulf of Mexico. That's correct. Over here, we still say the Gulf of Mexico. We're right there at the ocean. We've got big, beautiful lakes. We've got hiking trails. We've got mountains. We've got desert. We've got blah da 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 da. We've got regionalness still. Like, East Texas is different than West Texas.
East Texas is one of the most dense forests in the country.
Yes.
West Texas is like the biggest sky you've ever seen.
The stars at night are big and bright. We've got amazing food. We've got amazing people. We have a diverse culture.
Well, we've always been diverse, right? Because, I mean, Texas was, we've always had, just like having native, right, Aboriginal people here, like, all of that has been since the beginning. So we've always been a melting pot, for sure.
Always. We have the largest population of Black people here. Beyonce is from here. Willie Nelson is from here. The Dixie Chicks, Stevie Ray Vaughan, who should have a statue in Oak Cliff. I don't know how that has kept not
I know.
happening.
How'd he ever get a statue in Austin but not in Oak Cliff?
He spent a lot of, like, his musical career really.
Yeah. But, come on.
Yeah. I know. The beginnings of American popular music, blues, has history here. You go to Deep Elm and you see all these blues greats, Blind Lemon. You've got...
Yeah.
We have such a diverse and beautiful culture that is not cultivated for us. And it bothers me. It bothers me that they go out of their way to make life so hard for the majority of Texans so that 5% of them can have planes in their driveway. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
I mean, they've built up the whole system just to support themselves, though. It is what it is. That's why they took those seats away, is all this all means.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the fact that Greg won this huge settlement on this accident and then, like, pull the rug up so, like, nobody else can get it after him tells you everything. Tells you everything.
It does indeed. Yep.
They are not for us, Texas. They are not for us. And if you keep voting for them, we're not going to be the second worst place to live in. We'll be the first. You keep it up. The fact that a whole bunch of innocent little girls died and that could have been stopped.
Yep.
Dozens. Also, and if you are a longtime listener of the pod, this is not going to surprise you. The state of Texas is 300,000 miles bigger than England, roughly. I think it's like 297 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe more. The fact that we do not have rail lines everywhere that connects this entire state, like countries that are smaller than us are, is crazy. I was going to go to Houston for an afternoon because there was this exhibit that was in one of the Houston museums. And I was like, just ride the train down there to see this exhibit and then come back. Instead of driving 4 hours, seeing it, or staying the night and driving 4 hours back. To get from Dallas to Houston, I first have to go to Austin and then to Houston. And it's like an 8-hour trip just to get there, not even getting back.
I was going to tell you, there is not a train from Dallas to Houston. I have looked myself. Yeah, that's not a thing.
And that is insane. Now, if you don't want, like, trail lines to Texaco, Texas from Dallas, I hear you. But at the minimum, we should have train lines that takes us to all the major cities and maybe some of the second major cities. At the bare minimum, you are still going to make money on fuel and oil, because once I get to Houston, I need to get a lift.
Yeah. I want to go back to when you were talking about Greg Abbott and what a douchebag he is, because one of my things is when people want to give us trash about calling him Hot Wheels and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, when a disabled person signs away the rule that creates that accessibility for disabled people, which he did himself in his wheelchair, no, fuck Hot Wheels. No, never again do we need to be polite about him and his no.
Honestly, no. That is the least we can call him.
Yeah, it really is. It's being nice and generous.
Yeah, that's the least I can call him.
Disgusting. Shame.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
I don't want to give him any more of our attention, because fuck that guy. Vote him out. Vote him out. In the words of Willie Nelson, vote him out. Joey and I recently sat down and talked to Keenen Colbert, who's running for the Texas State Senate District 2 seat. We're excited for him. He is so much fun to talk to. When I think of people who should be in politics and they focus on service over power, those are the people that I'm always leaning towards, and that's Keenen. So take a look at this interview. Well, thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate it. I know campaigning takes a lot of your time, so we appreciate you taking some time out for us.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Keenen. Stoked to have you. I saw you you made a great video in the past day or two where you're calling all the constituents in Senate District 2. It's very cool. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here. I'm doing my best to reach constituents, reach people that are concerned voters, undecided voters, people who might not have voted before, reach everyone that I can, because my mission, truly, I would consider it an astounding victory if there is record turnouts for this district. For those that don't know, my name is Keenen Colbert. I am the Democratic candidate for state senator of District 2. I am a veteran. I am a lifelong Texan. And you can consider me your neighbor. I've been here the whole time, and so has my family, as far as I can look back at my own history. I know that Texas isn't simply a red state. It's a non-voter state, and that's just the hard fact of the matter, which is why I will sit right in my rocking chair, and I will make one phone call after another. I will knock on one door after another, and I will encourage and have these conversations to leave people informed on what is on their ballot and who, rather than what they're voting for this year. Because if it wasn't important, it wouldn't be on our ballot.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
True. Well, well done going out there and trying to reach every single person. That's definitely one of the things I've noticed about your campaign. You are, I feel like, everywhere. I see you at every event. I saw you at the convention in Corpus. You come to Feds events, which is in East Dallas. And so, it's like only a sliver of Senate District 2. So well done. I really appreciate you being everywhere and trying to talk to every voter. I think that your seat is considered flippable primarily because Bob Hall is definitely like the worst Texas senator, like the worst. Right? He's the worst. You should know, full disclosure, he used to be my senator, and many years ago, I think it was 2018 or 2019, after one of the massive murder shootings, my sister and I went to one of his usual constituency meetings, and they tried to throw us out. They literally manhandled us and tried to throw us out because we had questions that he did not want to answer about why he would not pass any positive legislation that would keep Texans safe.
I am so sorry that you had that experience.
He also voted against teachers' raises. Like, horrible, right? But you are for the people. Tell us about, like, why are you running? What are your policies? Because I've heard them and they're great.
Well, before that, let's get into what you're running for again. Like, specifically, what are you running for?
Sure. I'm running for state senator of District 2. My most common question that I get is, what is District 2? District 2 is Collin County. It is a part of Collin County, part of Dallas County, part of Ellis County, all of Kaufman County, all of Rockwall County, all of Van Zandt County, and all of Navarro County. And I promise you, I am going all across the entire district trying to bring out the vote. I am going to the most rural parts of Van Zandt, whether it is a Republican space or not, and I am open to the conversation. As a matter of fact, I actually just did a podcast a couple of days ago, and I've been a recurring guest on this conservative leading podcast out in Van Zandt, and it's local. And I talk, I talk with them because they have many Republican voters, many Republican candidates have this preconceived notion of what a Democrat is or what it is that we're running on. And for the voters, and I find this to be personally shameful, they're believing the rhetoric that our political opponents are saying about us rather than hearing from us ourselves. Even after that podcast conversation was over, one of the guests was like, "I don't understand why you're running as a Democrat. They're trying to change our genders and take our guns and all this stuff." And I'm like, "I'm a Marine veteran. I was in the infantry. I have 3 guns in this house right now. What are you talking about? I'm running to fully fund public schools. I'm running to expand healthcare and make sure that it's affordable and accessible to every Texan because we are dead last when it comes to the insured rates for our citizens in the state. Texas is 50th out of 50th, period. There is no excuse. I'm running to fix that. I'm running to address the cost of living that has been plaguing not just young people, but older people as well, and make that American dream more accessible to the next generation. Because I personally find it our collective responsibility to leave behind a better society than what we had originally found. And currently, right, wrong, or indifferent, our administration, our political leaders, they have failed to do so. So I'm stepping up to meet the moment and give the people what they need. It's not just making a better environment for young people because the older generation are also feeling the strain. There are people that are past retirement age that are forced to go back into work in order to afford their medications. That shouldn't be the case. If you give 20, 30, 40, 50 years into the workforce, you should be able to retire in dignity, not be forced to work in order to survive. I'm running to address those issues. Don't listen to the rhetoric of a political opponent who wants power for the sake of being in power, who's going to go around and campaign fear mongering on minorities communities that have less than the average person and being told that they're the issue. Because here's my issue: the person who has less than me is probably not the problem. You want to talk about welfare queens and things like that? The biggest welfare queens I see are the ones that have more money than Jesus and are spending it only on themselves, taking public funds and putting it in their pocket. It's time to get back to having integrity and ethics in our political leaders. And that's why I'm stepping up to meet the moment.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah, you're the one, man. Let's go.
Can you tell I have this energy all the time?
Yes, it's really good. And it's really smart that you're running on issues rather than party. Definitely the way to go. We agree with that always. At the convention, right, on the platform, we voted to raise the minimum wage to $25. I've heard you talk about that a lot.
Yes, I have. And that's also been part of my debate with the Republican leaning constituents in the area, because the common conception is that if you raise the wages, then the cost of goods are going to go right along up with it. And that's just factually untrue. It just, as an example, if I snap my fingers and everyone got to $25 an hour and you saw O'Reilly Auto Parts, they raised the cost of all of their goods, but AutoZone didn't, then where are you going to shop? It's about buying power. It's about putting leverage in the hands of the consumers to have the choices to spend their money where they need to spend it, instead of just trying to keep up with the ever rising cost and keep your head above water. What I see a lot of conservatives fail to understand is the landscape for young people has completely changed. The times of finding a job, working it for 20 years, and being paid a fair living wage is effectively a thing of the past. A lot of younger people now are having to work 2 or 3 jobs or 2 jobs and a side hustle just to make the ends meet at the end of the month. And guess what? They don't always meet at the end of the month. Sometimes you have to get creative, because when groceries cost $500, you couldn't do it the same way you did then like you could now. So advocating for putting the leverage back in the consumer's hands, not only does it empowers young people to work and have benefits and healthcare and be able to afford to see a doctor whenever they get sick. But it puts that American dream closer within reach. It's not going to turn into whatever you're fearing it's going to turn into. It is going to turn into, if anything, more of what those good old days felt like whenever people were coming up in the 70s or 80s or 90s. The minimum wage should cover the cost of living. And what I mean by that is if you as a business if you as a business are trying to hire a human being to work full time, meaning 40 hours a week or more, you should pay them a rate to where they can afford a roof over their head, food in their belly, and to see a doctor whenever they get sick. It's that simple. Point blank, period. You cannot do that paying $7.25 a minimum. You can't do that paying $10 a minimum. So I would argue for at least $20. I would love to swing 25, but to overcorrect the failures that our state has provided, I would say that would be a great course of correction.
NPR did a study, or the KERA station did a local study in the city of Dallas a year or two ago, and they found that you have to earn a minimum of $24 an hour in the city of Dallas to live as an independent person in a home, in any apartment.
Yeah,
so,
and it sounds great
that's
if
what the cost of living is now.
Yeah, for the folks that, and I've heard it a bunch of times, oh, young people just don't want to work anymore, and it's the avocado toast and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all these nonsense. I would strongly argue that, young people as a mass, and no matter what generation, they've always worked hard, and that has not stopped in this generation. The same when the greatest generation entered the workforce, or when baby boomers entered the workforce, or when Gen X or when millennials entered the workforce, everyone's always worked hard. The problem is that we don't get as much product or as much buying power for the labor that we're doing as everyone else did. And I think raising the minimum wage can even that playing field. So I support it 100%.
But wages have generally stayed flat since the 1970s, and it's like if you can't even afford to live, you can't be a positive.
You know what hasn't stayed flat? The cost of a home. That hasn't stayed flat. You know what else hasn't stayed flat? The cost of gas, the cost of groceries, the cost of electricity, the cost of paying your water bill. Your taxes have gone up year after year after year after year. And mind you, I live in District 2. Like, I've been in Texas my entire life. Just 2 weeks ago, Governor Abbott and my opponent Bob Hall were sitting in Canton, Texas, talking to a whole crowd of people saying that, hey, we have a plan to lower your taxes. It's already going to be in place. You just have to be sure to vote for us in November. Now, mind you, they've been in office for 10 years. This problem has gotten worse year after year for over 10 years. And you're trying to tell me that the only fix to the problem that you created and exacerbated was to vote for you again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Believe me, flip this, because I promise you it's going to hold true. If voting Republican was good for Texas, I would vote Republican. I'm not voting Democrat or running Democrat just to be on the blue team. I'm running for the people, and I'm voting in accordance with what's going to help people because I'm running on policy. I've seen what your policy's done, and I've seen you turn around and you only come around to talk to your constituents whenever you either need a dollar or you need a vote. And as soon as you get one or the other, you disappear. And then you come around every single cycle, every single time and say, oh, we hear you. We're going to fix this. No, you're not. You've made it worse. You haven't earned my vote. You haven't proven that you're capable of doing this job. So step aside and let somebody else get in there and fix your mistakes. So if they won't clean up their own mess, I will.
Thank you, sir.
That's the mic drop right there.
Yeah, mic drop. We're ready to go vote for you, and we can't even. We're not in Senate District 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, even for folks that are outside of the district, because, again, I've lived in Texas my entire life. I know that you know somebody that doesn't vote. This is not the year to simply go out and vote or show up and say that you did something. This is the year to bring somebody with you to vote. It is that serious. The trajectory of our state and of our country is on the line. This isn't just about 2026, by the way. There's a reason why the RNC picked Dallas, Texas to come and host their event. They're scared. They're scared that they're going to lose the state, and they know what that means for 2028, and they know what that means for 2030 when redistricting happens. This is not the time to just go out and be like, yeah, I voted. I voted for James and I went home. No, I need you to vote all the way down your ballot, because if it wasn't important, it wouldn't be there. You vote all the way down the ballot. You tell your neighbors, your friends, your babysitters, your kids' teachers, your cousin, whoever you know, don't just go out and vote November 3rd. Early voting starts October 19th, and we all know what they're going to do. They're going to try and make it complicated. They're going to try and put pressure on people to vote Republican here, vote Democrat here, so they can see a long line in certain places. No, 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 no. You put on your calendar October 19th. It's going to take you 10 minutes tops to get in and out. You can't tell me you don't have 10 minutes. It's July right now. So make a plan to vote early, not the day of, and bring somebody you know to do the same thing. To this day, and I've been a candidate this whole year. Not one time have I asked somebody to vote for me. You haven't heard it come out of my mouth. Vote for Keenen. I'm telling you to vote because I know y'all. I know that you're going to complain in your break room. I know that you're going to complain in somebody's comment section. And I'm telling you right now, that's not where your voice needs to get heard. Your voice needs to be heard at the ballot. So get up, go vote. And right now, while it's in July or August or whenever you're watching this video, what you need to do is open that calendar app on your phone. It's going to take you 2 seconds and mark a date, either October 19th or sometime between then and October 30th, because that's early voting. If you can't, for whatever reason, make that window, November 3rd's your day. I will not be taking no excuses. You can't say nobody told you. Told you just now.
Now, if I did not know you were a Marine, I'd be like, I think that guy was a Marine.
I keep this energy on me all the time, and it served me well when I was in uniform. For over 8 years, I served honorably. I served as an infantry Marine for 4 years when I was enlisted. When I graduated college, I commissioned as an officer, and I served another 4 years as a logistics officer. It served me well. I'm very proud of my service. I'll say this. If anybody asks me, where do you go to find the most patriotic Americans, I would say the United States Marine Corps is one of the few places where it doesn't matter what you look like, where you came from, how you worship, like how you love on your own personal time, who your partner is. If you're willing to put your money where your mouth is and put in the work to defend people that might never know your name, that might never shake your hand or thank you for it, like that's the place to go. So I'm very proud of my Marine service. I'm proud of my service to this country. I am trying as hard as I can every single day to serve this country and this state once again. So if I could earn the support of your audience, if I can earn the support of the community, if I can boost the voting numbers this year, that is a win. But one thing that I will not argue or debate is that Texans deserve better representation. We deserve integrity in our politics. We deserve people that work for us and not donors or corporations. We deserve to be the priority. And that message is rung clearly across Democrat spaces, Republican spaces, independent spaces. Everybody's tired of excuses. Everybody's tired of picking up the check for the rich or the wealthy, the real welfare queens that are out there. And they just want to be okay. They want to afford their house. They want to pay their bills. They want to go on vacation every once in a while with the money they have left over. They want to send their kids to a good, safe school. It's not that hard. We just need to put integrity back into our system.
Serve the people. Thank you for serving us so well, Keenen, already.
Thank you. If there's anybody out there that's watching this and you want to check out my platform, colbertfortexas.com on the internet, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also Colbert for Texas. If you'd like to support I have a donation page set up on that website. I'm not taking the money. You can look me up on Transparency USA and you can see exactly where my money has come from. On that website, it'll show $1,250 that was contributed by guess who? Keenen Colbert. That was the filing fee that I paid out of pocket to run this race. So I'm not taking the PAC money, the donor money, or anything like that. This is a true, authentic grassroots campaign. So when I say that every dollar matters and every dollar counts and every dollar goes towards outreach, I mean what I say. Like, I'm not putting your money in my pocket. I am living off of my life savings and veteran benefits to do this work. I believe that my life's philosophy has always been to make a difference rather than a career. And my belief in that is what drives me to do this every day, all year long. So I am doing this full time for you, for the constituents, for the Texans, and I'm running a grassroots campaign to take money from the everyday person that just wants better representation to help extend my outreach. If you would like to support, I'd love to earn your contribution, and I would love to, use that contribution to help spread that message because you deserve better.
Thank you so much for all your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, I just love this candidate. Keenen is exactly the sort of candidate we should have in every race. Young, populist, he's just for the people and authentically committed to serving his community. I used to live in Senator Bob Hall's district, so I know firsthand that he is the worst. So while this district was just gerrymandered to be even redder, if we make magic this fall, with the people turning out to defeat the extremists, he has a chance of winning. It's exciting.
And as you know, Joey, I am a military brat, so anyone who has served is near and dear to my heart, and I meant it. If I didn't know he was a Marine, I would have guessed it. Politics is always meant to be a way to serve this nation, not to be a career. And I hope he wins so he can continue serving. I know he'll do an amazing job.
All right. That is our show for this week. Thanks for watching and listening.
And if you'd like to keep up with the news, we have a daily news brief where we talk about the biggest news stories of the day. Nothing too in-depth, just enough to not look silly in your company's Slack channel.
And if you want to know what you can do in your communities, how you can be an active participant in your local government, I put out a weekly newsletter called Organizer's Corner.
And we got you covered on all the news. Like I said, I keep up with the news for you.
And I keep up with the policy for you.
And together we help you become smarter and consistent voters. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.